The Naked Gun is a remake-quel slash legacy sequel to The Naked Gun from, when was that? Like 1986 or something like that. It's the newest installment in this franchise. In this movie, Liam Neeson plays the role of Frank Drebin Jr., the son of Frank Drebin, who was Leslie Nielsen's character in the original Naked Gun movies. He's a detective in the police squad, and a group of people have obtained this plot device that is simply called the plot device. He's gonna figure out what their motive is, what their plan is, and ultimately how he's going to bring them down. All while a bunch of jokes, hilarity, and ridiculousness ensues. I did see the original Naked Gun years and years ago, and I loved it. I love comedies, I love spoof movies especially. Just the ability to break down a genre of movie to the bone marrow and just make a complete joke out of it, I think that's awesome. And you almost feel like spoof comedy has been making a little bit of a resurgence lately, not just with the Naked Gun, but with movies like a new Spaceballs coming our way soon, or even, what is it? Are they making another scary movie? I did hear about that. Which is exciting because I am someone who used to be a huge fan of comedy. Like, comedy used to be my favorite movie genre. And frankly, I am still a fan of comedy, but the way the world has unraveled as of late, namely, in recent years, comedies just haven't been what they once were. They haven't been as funny, they haven't been as edgy, they've been a little too safe because everyone is so fucking afraid of offending someone nowadays. So naturally, when I heard that The Naked Gun was getting a sequel slash remake slash reboot, I wasn't overly excited for it. However, when I did learn from Keith from The Lonely Island was going to be directing it and Seth MacFarlane was going to be producing it, I started to feel a little more interested in it. I was like, okay, maybe this could be adequate. Then I saw that first trailer with Liam Neeson, and I was already laughing my ass off at the trailer, and I was just like, holy shit, this could be really good, please don't let me down. And some of the reviews you've been hearing about The Naked Gun is it is the funniest movie of the decade, and I'm gonna be honest with you guys, I'd have to agree with that. When I say to you that this is the funniest comedy I have seen in a very long time, I fucking mean that shit. Like, I genuinely have thought to myself, what is the last straight up comedy I saw that made me laugh my ass off as much as this movie did? And part of me wanted to see the original Deadpool, but calling Deadpool a comedy is kind of a little bit short. I'm talking like straight up comedy that had me peeing myself. I really can't remember. The Naked Gun legitimately did that. It brought comedy back and it made me laugh. And that's what I want more than anything with a comedy. I want to laugh. I want it to be funny. I want to be entertained that way. And yeah, so much of the credit in this movie goes to Liam Neeson. He is great in this movie. And frankly, at this point, I think we need to address him as one of the best actors we have. I just look at the career he's had for himself. He started off as a very serious, dramatic actor with movies like Schindler's List, obviously. And then, once he got into Taken, he shifted more into the action hero role and he crushed it as that. And now here he is in comedy. And he's awesome. I mean, he has a very deadpan sort of tone to himself and like the way he addresses certain situations. He has a very dry sense of humor with how he attacks this role. And it completely works for this movie. Just his accent and the way he delivers certain lines. I mean, he says some things in this movie and you're just like, where do you come up with that? Some of that goes to the writing, absolutely. But it's the way he delivers it in such a way, it just amplifies it so much more. I'm like, I don't know if that would have been as funny if it came from anyone else but Liam Neeson. I mean, other characters in this movie I thought did really well. Pamela Anderson I thought really stood out in this movie. She plays the sort of love interest to Liam Neeson. They have a really good dynamic with one another. But I appreciate Pamela Anderson taking a more silly comedic role for herself because she, for the longest time, was seen as a sex symbol, just kind of, wanted to be in these movies because, she looked the part. But I really love seeing in a movie like this, she's not taking herself overly seriously. She's not afraid to make fun of herself. She's not afraid to act a little bit stupid or ridiculous for the movie. She understood the assignment here and she went in totally going for it. And I appreciate that because, again, it just brought laughs. Again, there's a dynamic in this movie between her and Liam Neeson, or a moment rather, that might be a little cliche. It's something we have seen in movies before, but the way they executed it, I'm not joking with you guys when I say I was crying laughing to the point where I couldn't stop and I was trying to make myself stop because I didn't want to miss any other jokes that could be coming our way. And that's a compliment I would give this movie. Like, the movie is so roaring funny that you could be laughing so much at a particular joke that you might actually be afraid that you'll miss a joke coming your way. And that's the thing, this movie, it's very fast-paced and it doesn't stop. And that's what I will say because it's not a movie that, like, you know, focus on heartfelt, emotional moments very much. It's not a movie that tries to go for a moment where they could, like, turn up the drama a little bit. This is straight up a comedy. It's a spoof movie. It's meant to poke fun at the crime genre, the police movies that we get and things like that. It's supposed to be like that. So as a result, a movie like this is going to take the joke every single time. The difference, however, with this is the joke almost always hits and hits big time. And I will say that is credit that I do want to give to the writing and the storytelling in this movie, because when they throw all these little gags and jokes throughout the movie, none of them feel out of place. Like, they all make sense for the characters, for the story, for the direction that they are inevitably taking the movie. And I'm not gonna say every joke in this movie hit with me, but I will say I think every joke in this movie could hit with somebody. Like, I saw this movie in a very packed theater, and while I maybe did not laugh super hard at every joke, there were undeniably people in my audience that were laughing at certain jokes that were thrown our way. And there's certainly a few jokes they throw in every now and then that's meant to be silly and dumb and ridiculous, but the movie uses them in such a way, and characters like Liam Neeson execute it in such a way that it never feels stale. It works for the movie, it makes you smile, it makes you laugh, and that's all you could want. And that's what I was saying. People are gonna ask, is it a dumb movie? I mean, yes, in a way, it is. But that's what you have to understand. This being a spoof movie, they all go for the dumb humor a little bit. They're all trying to reconstruct these movies. They're making fun of them. Like, let's take the crime genre. Let's take a police movie, like a serious police action movie or something like that, and let's just shred it. Let's make it completely over the top and completely ridiculous, and make it just stupid. But that's what I will say right now. If you're someone who doesn't like stupid humor, the movie doesn't drive on stupid humor. This movie will go for some raunchier moments. The movie will go for not really shock humor, although there are a couple moments where you're kind of like, oh wow, they went there. I think shock humor, I mean that more in like some of the things they say in this movie, and that's what I appreciate right now. This movie doesn't pull a lot of punches. I mean, it is PG-13, but it does go for some more risque humor at times. Like, there's one line a character drops, they even make fun of the character dropping the line, but in my head I was like, oh wow, can they get away with saying that now? Well, they just did, and I applaud the movie for doing that. And also, I want to give the movie credit for this right now. It knew the perfect length it needed to be. The movie is just under an hour and a half. And again, this is part of the problem I had with Happy Gilmore 2, because Happy Gilmore 2 was also a remake, well, a legacy sequel, if you will. The problem was, it channeled maybe too much into the dumb humor to the point where it became dumb, and it being 2 hours long, it was way longer than it needed to be. It just felt like it was dragging out. The Naked Gun is the perfect example when stupid humor is used in a movie made by smart creators. When you pull it off like that, stupid humor is very effective for really everybody. And again, because it's only an hour and a half long, there aren't a lot of slow moments. I mean, a little bit towards the end, maybe some of the humor for me personally died down a little bit. Now, granted, this was coming off a moment where I was literally, my sides were hurting from laughing so much. But it knew just how long the audience was gonna be engaged with it, and it's like, okay, this is when the movie needs to end, let's wrap it up, and they do that. So all in all, The Naked Gun is the comedy I have been begging for years now. Liam Neeson absolutely kills it in this movie. His delivery, his performance, the lines he says, it's great. You could tell he was having fun. He didn't take himself seriously. He knew what he needed to be. And he was awesome. Pamela Anderson was great in this movie. I loved how she didn't take her role too seriously. I loved the dynamic she had with Liam Neeson. Apparently they are together in real life, so it was easy to see a little bit more of the chemistry here. Also, shout out Paul Walter Hauser. He's got a couple moments in this movie that undeniably had me laughing. It's the perfect length of a movie. It doesn't drag out too long. It's fast-paced. It's constantly throwing jokes at you. The plot is ridiculous. It's silly. It's stupid, but it works for a spoof movie. And yeah, when it comes to the laughs, when it comes to the humor, it is insanely effective with this movie. Like, genuinely, I haven't laughed this hard at a movie in a very long time. I haven't been a part of an auditorium full of people that have laughed this hard at a movie in a very long time. That's what's great. Not only was I laughing and having a great time, but everyone around me was feeling the same way. And that's when you know you got a great comedy on your hands. It is the type of comedy that I guarantee you anybody out there can have fun with, will laugh at, and enjoy, thoroughly enjoy for that matter, at one point or another. And frankly, if you don't find this movie funny at all, I'm gonna give The Naked Gun a 9 out of 10, which makes this movie wicked awesome. Really am hoping this movie continues to do well for itself at the box office, because if it does, it will send that message to Hollywood that we want this humor, we want to see comedies like this, and it would give me that hope that my favorite genre is on its way back to life. I gotta get my friends to watch this movie at some point or another, because I got a few that I know will really love it. So that's all I gotta say, guys. Thank you so much for watching my video, and as always, don't forget to comment, like, subscribe, and I'll see you all next time.